Hello everyone, and welcome to another match in the Link to the Past Randomizer League. It's week 2, which means we're doing Ambrosia settings. We have Guardians of the Galaxy Brain versus W. He's Just a Boy, representing Guardians of the Galaxy Brain, and Pikapals, representing W. Yesterday, we already had one matchup between these teams. As you can see by the points, W won. Today, Guardians of the Galaxy Brain are hoping that He's Just a Boy gets some points on the board for them, and the race will be underway in just a moment. For those of you just joining in or who don't really know what Ambrosia is, that is a setting that starts with a standard opening, so you have to do the escape. Uncle will give you a hint about where the boots are, and then every boss of the dungeons will have an item. They will not have the map, compass, or any of the keys. So that plays a role in strategy with when you want to go to the dungeons and your item counts. I am your commentator, Ricky of Kokiri. Tracking is Ohadol, and the race is off. The boots are in Hyrule Castle, so this is going to be a very early boots. And the flute in Link's house. Goodness. We're going to get all the motion going on here today. Uncle give us a heart piece. Pikapals is just playing with the flute as he runs along. And another heart piece in the Uncle area. So one thing both runners are going to be looking for is to see if the guards or the mice or the snakes give them the prize packs that can drop bombs, because it's really convenient if they can use bombs to get to the back of escape, where the boots could possibly be. Just 20 rupees in the first chest of the Hyrule Castle escape. And joining me in the commentary booth is Ohado. Hello, Ohado.
How's it going, Ricky?
It's going good. Looking forward to this race.
Yeah, this should be a pretty exciting matchup that we have tonight. Looking forward to see how both teams fare here. As you pointed out, both teams starting with 0 points last night. It'd be nice to see if they can keep it even.
Pikapals fighting the flippers in the next escape chest. So we've got a lot of movement already in this seed.
A lot of blue items so far.
But so far, not the blue item they want necessarily, which is the bombs. So this chest in Zelda's cell is going to be their last chance to get boots, unless they find bombs for the back of escape. We're going to find out in just a moment.
Pikapal's doing a great job there, not taking any damage from that guard with Morningstar there.
Yes, very good. I forgot also Dark Cross is an option. So we've got Dark Cross or the 3 chests in the back of escape as a possible location for the boots. And our tracker pointing out that because of the key layout, Dark Cross has to be a key. And yes, the Uncle hint was for Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, And that is very true. So we do have, a couple of other prize packs to explore still. We haven't seen the rats or the ropes at all. So we do still have a chance to get some bombs in the back of Escape on our way.
Yes, and both runners are probably really hoping for that, knowing the boots are back there.
Now, do you know, out of those enemies in the back, are all of them on the same pack? Any of them on the same pack?
You know what? Let me pull that up. I have a link somewhere. Give me a second.
Pikapals getting into the throne room just after 4 minutes and 20 seconds, which is pretty standard time. Was able to pick up a bomb along the way from one of the guards, it looks like. So they'll be able to make a pretty good time getting out of Escape tonight. So far, he's just a boy, not having quite as much luck, but it seems like the rats are dropping a ton of bombs, so we should see a decent amount coming for He's Just a Boy as well.
Okay, so the bats belong to prize pack 7. So they're a separate prize pack. The mice, and the snakes are in prize pack 1. Why am I not seeing the mice on here?
They're called something weird that I never remember the name of.
Oh, and the mice are in prize pack 2. So we have
Okay.
3 different prize packs possible here, and Pikapals got bombs.
Yep, a number of them. He's Just a Boy, not getting quite as lucky here. Pikapal's got at least 2 of those off of the rats, so it's likely that He's Just a Boy will grab some in sewer. There's a number of rats in there that he can take out in hopes of getting them as well.
It looked like the back of Escape simply had arrows and a bottle, if I'm not mistaken. So that means the boots are in the sanctuary. Oh, and Blue Mel. Thank you, Tracker.
Blue mail, yep. More blue things.
So yes, the boots are in sanctuary. So can't miss them.
There's a bomb. Nice timing for it, too. Because he didn't take out every rat along the way. He kind of waited until he got to this room to start, going out of his way to kill them. We've got already a nice early check of Bonk Rocks.
Just give us one moment. We are syncing the runners right now.
Such a suspenseful moment, too.
Yes, what are in those Bonk Rocks?
Yeah, so the only item we're really missing for some of the best routing you can have is a mirror at this point. We've got boots, we have flippers, we have flute. You can really make your way around anywhere in Hyrule right now, except for getting to East Death Mountain.
Indeed. He's Just a Boy going to the Bonk Rocks. And based on the timers, might actually be there a few seconds ahead of Pikapals. Yeah. And there we go, we're in sync now.
Perfect. So it looks like we're going to be getting a lumberjack check from both runners here. They do both have boots really early, so it's definitely worthwhile at this point.
It's the glove!
Ooh.
What is it with Ambrosia and Ago 1 seeds? There's been so many.
Yep, so that's an immediate extra time added onto the seed there.
Yes, but it's also like knowing the glove is there, you're not going to last location Ago 1. Like, hoping to get Dark Road access otherwise.
For sure, and in some cases it makes more sense to just use Aga 1 as your fast access to pod if you have everything else you need for it, or just want to go hunting for the items. We're finding Ice Rod, so it's not an Ice Rod hunt today.
Yay! But is it a Fire Rod hunt?
Still a bit sore, I see.
Yes, so both Powder and Ice Rod were in the Lost Woods. He's just a boy hitting these bunk rocks for an extra bomb. Not something you see every day with the given the boots locations normally. And both runners checking out Blind's hut.
Yeah, and he's just a boy's case though, and having 0 to 1, I definitely see wanting to have a couple more rather than having to buy them.
Oh hey, there's the hammer and the hook shot.
Wow. Is this the new hype cave? I like this. Hammer hook shot. So there's our access to East Death Mountain. We can actually get almost anywhere in the world aside from those mirror spots now. Well, obviously we can't get to Dark World yet, but we are not far off. He's going to go buy some bombs.
Using that spin speed to help make it not so much of a time loss.
Yep, that was very nice.
Bomb of the well, not... Ooh, Cane of Samaria!
This village is definitely stacked. We got Cane of Samaria and Pearl in the tavern.
Red Mel.
My goodness. Okay. So already we're down to, we've knocked out a bunch of our required items. We're still looking for bow, fire rod. We don't know the verdict on mirror yet, but we still kind of hope for that. And the 2 gloves, wait and see how many medallions we're going to need. But we've found a ton of things already that are often things you're hunting for a long time.
Yes, though it is concerning just in terms of the fact that it's opening up so much of the overworld that if they're down to their last go mode item, it depends on, it could be anywhere depending on what item it is.
That is true. The nice thing is Titan's Myths are going to come a little bit later at this point, so that will at least block a lot of checks for a while. And we know that the Power Glove has to be either in Light World or potentially right on Pyramid Ledge or something easy like that.
We're already getting a magic bat check 11 minutes in. This is nuts.
Okay, giving us some blueberries.
We got a map check. 2 pendants in the green pendant on Desert Palace, blue pendant on Tower of Hera, and I believe a crystal on Eastern Palace.
I must have missed it. Did anyone check Sick Kid?
I believe he's just a boy did. It wasn't anything of import.
The tracker pointing out it was a piece of heart. Thank you.
And another piece of heart on the race game.
So we're going to go straight to the mountain for He's Just a Boy. We'll see if Pikapals follows suit or if he decides to take that bird somewhere else. Now, Ambrosia is a really nice setting for when you have early access to the mountain like this, because sometimes you get the items you need to get to the old man here, really early on, but you don't have any way of finding your way through the Dark Room. So it takes a lot of extra practice and skill to make sure, with such low health, that you actually make it there and back. When you don't have a boomerang or hook shot or anything else, a sword, easy to find your way with, it can definitely be an endeavor.
So both runners on the mountain right now. It'll be interesting to see if either or both of them dip into Tower of Hera, knowing it's a pendant dungeon. They both have access to it thanks to the hookshot and hammer.
Yep, that's true. I mean, I feel like that's something that I would definitely take the risk on. It's not a huge time investment to do so. And, you know, you're already right there. You may as well knock out as much of the mountain at once as you can.
Right now, knowing that the glove is on the lumberjack ledge, both runners are looking for the lamp and either the level 2 sword or the magic cape to get into Aga's tower. Got the
Ooh, we get
magic
the book.
boomerang and the book in Paradox Cave.
So that's interesting. Unless we find a sword up here, we won't be able to get the item, but we will at least be able to see what's on the tablet up here.
Right.
But we still have a number of checks. Some really friendly bomb drops from some of these prize packs here. And there's the first glove.
Oh, so
We
it's
have
the
Dark World
Titan's
access.
Mitt on a lumberjack. That's crazy. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so this is the type of seed that I never trust when I'm
Yeah.
behind the driver's seat. Yeah, it's giving you so much right away. You gotta wonder, what's the troll item gonna be? How late are you gonna find that last thing?
Yeah, exactly.
It just creates so much more likelihood that you have a bunch of dead checks in between.
He's just a boy double checking Tower of Hera's pendant. And
Just couch cash.
Just couch cash. And he's just a boy climbing into the Tower of Hera.
Makes sense. You're likely to find your first item somewhere inside, and you know the second one's on the boss. So you have pretty good odds of being. And when I say inside, sorry, I mean without going to the basement.
Right, right.
Yeah, you have pretty good odds of not needing to go down there at all.
Well, the big key's in the basement. He's just a boy going for the Herapot clip, using spin dash strategies.
This is wild. I don't think I've seen this setup before.
I've seen it before, but good luck getting it. For me, anyway.
Yeah, this is kind of a treat.
Oh, and Pikapals doing the same thing. Oh, but
He's just a boy
Pikapals is
decided
using...
to opt out here.
Yeah. But Pikapals gets it using select buffering. Oof, but that big key is going to be necessary because the item's in the big chest, and the big key is fire locked.
Yep. So at least we know, unless there's something on boss here, he's just a boy. Is still, if he wants, if he's going to need to come back here, it's not going to hurt him too badly. The pot warp is, it can be worthwhile as long as you don't take too long with the setup. Usually, my general rule of thumb is if it takes you more than 3 attempts, then you would have been better off just taking the walk around.
And just bombs on Moldor. So Tower of Hera, early Tower of Hera is a wash until we find out what the big chest was holding, if we ever do. He's just a boy in the meantime. Looks like he's gonna use the village portal to go to the village of outcasts.
We're still missing that fire rod, with only one item going to be in Skull Woods. Looks like He's Just a Boy is still going to go for it and see if he finds something in the front there.
Misery Mire has the final pendant, while Swamp Palace and Pod have the 5-6 crystals. Which means that the Ice Rod early is required for Turtle Rock.
Yep, that's a relief. A lot of the time when you find early Ice Rod, it's it can feel like a safe assumption that it's going to be a pendant dungeon. But that's where, you know, confirmation bias comes in. You have it happen so many times, you start to think that's always the case.
Pikapals about to enter the Dark Road through the village portal, while He's Just a Boy continues combing through the front of Skull Woods for that one item.
Pikapal's going to take the exact same path, it looks like. I'm curious to see where the runners really start to diverge here. You know, admittedly, they have, you know, a lot of items that kind of just point you in this direction in general, so I think it does make a lot of sense. Until we see that bow. If we don't see the item here, then both items are going to be locked behind the fire rod.
Right.
Which they are.
Oh. Oof. That hurts.
Both of them exiting the cave at the exact same time, but taking different paths to get there. That was kind of cool to watch.
Right, Pikapals prioritized saving a key. Oh, and He's Just a Boy gonna check what's on Bumper Ledge, while Pikapals goes straight to Village of Outcasts. That looked like 20 rupees on the ledge.
Indeed.
And 20 rupees in the Sea House.
I can understand making that quick check with knowing you're going to need to do Aga, your access to that either being a sword or a cape. With that cape as an option there, you kind of want to know what's going to be there.
There's the lamp in the chess game.
So we're one step closer to that Aga Tower.
Gotta love this seed. Gives them Dark Road access in like less than 20 minutes, but still requires Aga 1 to finish the siege.
It can't be all give. There has to be some take.
Both runners making their way through Thieves Town. It is a crystal dungeon, and they do have the hammer, so this is a very easy full clear.
Absolutely. And they only get one of the items in the front. Almost a Thieves Town starter kit. All they needed was a small key instead of that heart container.
Lumberjack has the Titan's Mitt. which the runners need to get into Ice Palace and Turtle Rock, which are both crystals.
Yep, so, you know, at this point, you're kind of hoping that you find a lot of the other items along the way before you even get access to that. Like finding the fire rod sooner than later would be really beneficial. The longer you can put off that Titan's Mitt, unlocking so many more checks, kind of the better in this case. It's one of my favorite Go Mode items.
Yeah, totally. These Stoutfuls were giving hesjustaboy quite some trouble in that hallway. Yes, they have to Aga 1 regardless. It is required to get the Titan's Mitt, which is required to get the last 2 crystals.
Yep, so currently we're just looking for either the magic cape or another sword upgrade to be able to access that. It's so interesting to see both runners have red mail already. What was that, about within the first 15 minutes as well?
Yeah, yeah. Blue mail was an escape, and red mail was on the bottle merchant, so...
Yeah. Even with that, hesjustaboy's going to have to pick up a few hearts along the way, unless he has a really, really solid blind fight here. But there's a good amount of those in the hallway leading up to Blind Cell, so he should be in pretty good shape for that fight.
Yes, plus he has powder, so he could just, powder one of the bunny transformer things and get a fairy out of it.
Oh, yep, I forgot that we picked that up already. The 15-minute bat check.
Pikapals taken on blind, following the script.
Really good phase 2. Very well executed by Pikapals there.
And so at 24 minutes, 50 seconds, we have our first crystal of the seed. And Pikapal's second dungeon down.
Absolutely. Yeah, Blind was not very impressed by that show, though, only offering up 1 rupee for that performance.
hesjustaboy taking on blind as well. Looks like he didn't get a fairy to refill, so he only has 2 hearts going into this fight. And missing the script just a bit. 1 heart left, but red mail.
It's a tough spot to be in, because 1 hit from those heads, I believe, will knock him out.
Careful.
Wow, that was
Hey.
a nice sniper shot by the red Samaria block there. Whew, that was stressful.
Yeah, I haven't seen Samaria use that way on blind. That's awesome. So 25 minutes, 50 seconds. hesjustaboy gets his first crystal. And Pikapals is doing the dig game, which is making him dig as much as possible, it looks like. And again. Still going. Any minute now. 300 rupees. Oh my goodness.
300 rupees for 30 digs. That might be worth it.
Oh, interesting. Pikapal's going to play the arrow game to get more monies. Oh, which makes sense. Neither runner has done any of the flipper checks, so Zora is still at large.
Yep, and that does get him almost all the way, so he's going to quickly be able to earn all the money that he needs right here. hesjustaboy's doing the same thing. Now, hesjustaboy did not pick up the 300 rupees first, so I wonder where his cutoff point is going to be here.
Struggling a little bit with the bow game. Oh, there's the other 300. Okay,
Right.
well, He's just a boy. You need to go do the digging game and stumping. You'll be just fine.
Yep.
Yeah, Pikapals did very well with the timing on the arrows, maximizing his winnings on that. He's just a boy. He had some difficulties. I can't get one hit in, regardless to save my life. So,
Yeah,
but
it makes
fortunately, it
sense.
is mine.
Some rage swings there. He's just a boy needing the rupees to be able to do the dig game, I think, even.
Oh, tracker, I didn't know that. The tracker says that if you get all 5 arrows into the same target of that game, the last score is 99 rupees instead of 64. I did not know that. That's crazy.
That is interesting.
Mushroom in Hype Cave. And Pikapals heading up the pyramid.
So here we see our first real divergence of the seed. He's just a boy choosing this time to opt out of the Dark World and start doing some more Light World, Overworld checks.
Pikapals finds the half magic on the pyramid ledge. Very nice, convenient item. While he's just a boy is doing the mushroom check.
I think this makes sense. We've had gets a nice 50 rupees, helps him toward that Zora money. We've had flippers for so long, and we still have, I believe, Mini Moldorm, all the South Shore checks. So this is going to be a nice time to ramp into those water checks and probably pick up the rest of the rupees that you need along the way.
Yes, he's just a boy is now. Oh, there's Bombos in the dam. So that's one medallion found. He's just a boy doing the South Shore checks. Finally, at 30 minutes. That's crazy. While Catfish gets a piece of heart off the catfish. Well, I'm sorry. While Pikapals gets a piece of heart off the catfish.
So I think we're going to see Pikapals mimicking that route here in just a second. Or maybe going to Eastern. Sahasrala's Closet in Eastern Palace? Nope.
Nope. Doing the camper. Nothing on Lake Hylia Island.
Those mini Moldorms acting just like their larger brother. Knocking He's Just a Boy right into the pit. There we have our Master Sword. So we finally have access to defeat Aghanim 1.
Oh, and Quake was on the camper. So we know 2 of our medallion locations, but not our requirements. He's just a boy choosing not to do Ice Rod Cave at this moment, while Pikapals is going straight to Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, he's just a boy determining now that he has the Master Sword just to go straight for Aghanim. Probably pick up those Titan's mitts as soon as he can.
And just 50 rupees in the Ice Rod Cave. Okay, so for go mode, we still need the bow, the mirror, the fire rod. Am I missing anything?
Not that I'm seeing. Potentially a medallion. We don't know which medallion we need.
Oh, and maybe ether, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're definitely 3, potentially 4 items away from go mode. I personally might put off the Titan's Mitt in this situation, because that opens up a lot of extra checks. I'm not really sure.
Well, at this point, you know that they're all in logic, though, so putting off so many in logic checks is could be problematic.
That's true. And Tracker is pointing out that none of the crystal dungeons are full clearable right now, so it does make
That's true.
sense to do the dungeon that you know you can do, which is Aga 1 at this point. And Titansmiths would give them Ice Palace.
Yep, yeah, I was just going to say He's Just a Boy does have the Bombos medallion, where Pikapals has not picked that up yet. So Ice Palace is probably high on his mind here.
The enemies are just loving pushing He's Just a Boy into the pits. First there was the mini Modorms, now it's the soldiers. Pikapals doing his mushroom check-in.
You know, if we do find Fire Rod soon as well, then we're not far off from being able to do TR.
So, Pikapals hasn't done Mini Modorm Cave yet. He went to Ice Rod Cave, but then didn't do Mini Modorm Cave. So he's going into Desert Palace, which is the green pendant. And he doesn't have a fire source to clear it, so he can only do the front part of it.
He does have the lantern.
He does have... I'm looking at the wrong thing. He does have the... Never mind.
Yep. But not only did Pikapals miss out on the Master Sword, he has also missed out on the Bombos medallion. So he's got a couple of checks in the South Shore area that he's still going to be, looking for in not too long here. So hopefully he remembers that he needs to go back for those after Desert Palace.
Yeah, definitely. He's Just a Boy starting the Aga 1 fight.
Thankfully we had nice easy boots in this seed because the torch was required to clear Desert Palace in this case. Or was Big Key in that first chest? Did I miss that?
Map was in the first chest, small key on the torch.
Okay, good. There it is. And there we have the bow.
Okay.
That changes things for sure.
Yeah, that puts both Eastern Palace and Pod into full clearable logic.
Yep, so now I'm curious where that other bow is going to be and how long He's Just a Boy will put off doing Pendant Desert. He's going to get the mitts here shortly, so I would assume that Ice Palace is going to be one of his first priorities. Of course, that does open up Dark Death Mountain as well.
Right. He's Just a Boy going to get that half magic off the pyramid ledge. And then we get a save and quit. He's gonna go get his Titan's mitts.
Mitts.
We also need Mirror. We need Fire Rod, perhaps Ether, and Mirror for go mode or no mode.
Yep, we will need to take that first step to get into Swamp Palace.
Pikapals facing off against Lamolas for the green pendant and whatever item they may be holding, while He's Just a Boy is getting the Titan's mitts off the Lumberjack ledge. The Lamolas don't stand a chance against the Ice Rod.
Nice to see. I don't see people use that often, but though it's a little bit slower than Fire Rod, it's still very effective against Lamos. It's actually surprising the amount of different items that you can use to deal damage to Landmouse as well.
Yeah, it's awesome. Pikapals now has the green pendant. That's his third dungeon down. He's just the boy is heading straight back up the mountain with those Titans mitts to do the Dark Death Mountain checks.
Okay. I can understand this. We got the early hook shot, wanting to clear out and know exactly what medallion we're going to need to finish up the race. It, I think makes a lot of sense here.
Pikapals heading into Eastern Palace with that bow. Gonna full clear it. And then probably do the green pendant turn in right after.
He's just a boy at this point, can also route in the rest of Hera that he wasn't able to do the first time. So we'll see if he decides to do that, because he does still have both items to find in there. We know one of them is going to be locked inside the big chest, and it was, I think it was bombs or rupees on the boss.
Yeah, it was something not worthwhile. I think it was a piece of heart, but it's, yeah, not progression. And it's Ether for Turtle Rock.
Oof, the one that eludes us.
Don't know.
You know, moments ago I was gonna say our troll item is going to be Ether Medallion needed for TR.
Ooh, Tempered Sword in Hookshot Cave.
And Fire
And the
Rod.
Fire Rod. Okay.
My goodness.
Has Pikapals found any items in the front of Eastern yet?
I wasn't watching closely enough. As soon as you said tempered there, I started looking over.
Yeah, he just got. Oh, there's.
Yep.
Okay, he got the big key. Now he just found the 10 arrows. And
Yep,
so yeah,
the
there's
second
another item on the big key chest. That's nice.
Looks like he's just a boy. Thought for a second about going to do Spike Cave, but with the items we have right now, I don't think he has a bottle that will refill his health, and his overall health pool is pretty low. Not having Cape or Cane of Birna yet will definitely.
Well,
I don't think it's possible at this point.
No, they found the Cane of Birna in Blindside, didn't they?
You know what? I think they may have. Okay, I was just missing it on the tracker. That's my bad. And there you get.
Sorry. He's just the boy who gets a bottle with a fairy in King's Tomb. And is returning to Kakruka Village to take that portal back to the Dark World. Okay, so the question for He's Just a Boy is, how long does it take him to get to Desert Palace to get that bow, or does he find the second bow somewhere else first?
Well, we'll see. He is about to get 2 items from Skull Woods here, the 2 that were left in the back.
Right. The bow is in Desert Palace.
For anyone just coming in, the items that Pikapals is missing, Bombos Medallion was on the dam, and Fire Rod, Hookshot Cave, that was a very recent pickup, but I feel like there's one more.
Also, the level 2 swords in Mini Moldorm Cave and level 3
Yep.
swords in Hookshot Cave.
Thank you, that's the one I was just thinking of. Yeah, if you end up with Mirror, I think you go there pretty quickly because you want to check the Misery Mire area checks as well.
Green Pendant Turner was just a blue rupee.
Oh.
And nothing in Sarasala's closet. Pikapals heading into pod while he's just a boy is taking down Mothula.
Pretty quick fight there, you know, a couple troll bounces, but overall, not bad. Moth was rather forgiving today.
Yes, and forgot to mention because it was so quick, but Pikapals had a great Armos Knights fight. They went down lickety-split with his positioning.
Did he get the one round quick kill there?
It looked like he did. Like the brief moment I noticed that fight happening, it was quick.
So we're getting the dive into pod here from Pikapals as well.
And he's just the boy is gonna get that second item out of Skull Woods. It was just the heart container. A piece of heart and a heart container, all Skull Woods gave us, along with the crystal.
You gotta love it. So at the moment, both runners tied up for pendant dungeons that they've completed. Although Pikapals has also completed 2. Did I say pendant? I meant crystal dungeons.
Yeah, you said pendant.
Pikapals definitely leading the department of pendant clears. Only one more, and he could go do a blind pull of the pedestal. But we are still a little ways away from that. Getting a bit ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, he still needs to find either the magic cape or the level 2 sword in either of the locations we know. Well, actually not either. Mini Moldorm Cave in order to get into Agro 1 to get to Meyer, so...
Yeah.
That's the thing holding Pikapals up right now, is not having that level 2 sword.
He's just a boy showing off the walk on water glitch. For anybody who's unfamiliar with how that little glitch works, if you are coming out of Ice Rod Cave and you're in that hallway area, and you sprint downward a little bit to the right or left so that you hit the corner of the door before you walk through it, you will store that walk on water state. There are a couple other ways to set it up as well that are not applicable at the moment in such circumstances we're in. But from there, all you need to do is jump off next to a staircase going south into the water, and you will be walking on top of the water.
He's just the boy heading into Ice Palace.
A little bit later than I expected it, honestly, but, you know, I think we knew it was coming eventually from it. And there we have the mirror.
Finds the mirror in pod.
So we are ether to no mode.
Indeed. That's gonna take Pikapals to Swamp Palace.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense to go from here.
Yes, Pikapals will be near Mini Moldorm Cave if he does Swamp Palace, so hopefully, like, when he mirrors to empty out the dam, he'll just go over to the side, get Mini Moldorm Cave, and then come back out Swamp Palace and go to Agro 1. That would be really nice routing for him in this situation.
Yeah, especially finding that mirror makes that, if he remembers that he did skip over those checks, makes that routing a lot nicer at this point. Though,
I'm not so sure if it was necessarily a skip as it was just him following the flute locations and then going into the dungeons he could folk clear once he got that bow out of Desert Palace.
yep, I mean, both make sense, honestly. It's just a boy getting, well, maybe not. It was hard to tell there if he actually got the clip on the spike there. I think he did end up getting knocked back, and I just didn't see the iframes. Yeah, as chat points out here, you know, both runners started this seed very much in line with one another for about the first 20 to maybe 25 minutes max of the seed. And then, you know, that divergence on the South Shore checks has completely changed the course of it for both of them.
Indeed. Pikapals almost done with Pod.
Neither one really being in bad shape here either. I mean, Pikapals has the advantage of the bow, which is led him to be able to clear a lot of dungeons that He's Just a Boy can't do yet, but He's Just a Boy also, obviously at the moment having a little bit more item advantage overall and being able to clear basically the rest of them that Pikapals can't. So they're really just in hunt of each other's items at this point.
Right. I am nervous that the... Well, I mean, it's hard to say. I'm a little nervous that the bow would be harder to get, just given He's Just a Boy, he needs to go into Desert Palace to do it. And with the mirror in Pod, you know, that's not going to lead him straight to the Mire area. But we'll see.
Yeah, that's a good point. But getting the book as early as we did, at a certain point, that starts to nag at the back of your mind. What did I need this for?
That's very true. Knowing that at least one of the tablets was useless up on the Death Mountain.
And sometimes you don't need the book at all, and it just kind of teases you the whole match. But getting it early, I'm always wondering if it was important.
Oh, Pikapals picked up another sword upgrade in Pod, it looks like. So he now has Aga 1 access, but he's going to hit Swamp Palace first. And that takes the mini Moldorm concern off the table.
Absolutely. Though at this point, I wonder how long he will put that off.
Okay, yeah, so finding that fourth sword upgrade puts Pikapals in a much better position. He can do Aga 1, get the Titan's Mitt. So unless He's Just a Boy finds the second bow lying around somewhere, it's going to be a matter of when does he get to Desert Palace so he can clear Eastern Palace and Pod.
Yeah, and he is going to find the mirror first before he finds that last sword. So by that point, if he's already found Ether Medallion, he might just go mode the rest of the dungeon and not actually pick up the Butter Sword.
I believe the sword might have been on Helmless Arcade.
Oh, was it? Okay. That would make it pretty impossible to miss then.
Yeah, it was on the Pod Boss, so yeah, that's not getting missed. So He's Just a Boy gets his third crystal, I'm sorry, while Pikapals also has 3 crystals plus 2 pendant dungeons completed. And there was a bow on Cold Stare.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so both items the runners were missing were on their respective bosses that they were clearing. So, you know.
Yeah. So this is basically just a Ether Medallion hunt at this point. I mean, Pikapals is going to be able to go do Aga, get his Titan's Mitts, and end up on the mountain. Probably not too much longer from this point.
Oh, and he's just the boy choosing to do pod before Eastern Palace gives him a bit of a time save because he's going to find Mirror and be able to just directly warp at the entrance.
Yep, that'll be a really happy find for him. Which it kind of makes sense at this point. You're starting to get lower on checks. You have more potential items in pod than Eastern. Easy enough to save a bit.
Yeah, and chat pointing out that once Pikapals completes Ice Palace, he will have silvers for the Ganon fight, whereas he's just the boy won't have silvers unless he goes to Desert Palace for whatever reason.
Yeah, which at this point, I only see that happening if Ether Medallion is being very elusive.
Yeah. Okay, that was interesting on He's Just the Boy's side. He did the hammer dash, and it hit the switch without breaking the skull pod. So that was an interesting look.
I've seen that once or twice before. I don't know exactly how it's done, but it does look a little swaggy.
Small shield in the waterfall room of Swamp Palace. Though I don't think there was anything worthwhile in Swamp Palace. I wasn't counting items. How many items are on the left side swamp?
Well, that'll remain to be seen by what drops off of this fight here.
Ouch. Okay, so there's at least one item on the left side swamp. We'll see if it's two. Depending on if Argus drops a dungeon item. Oh, Argus. Oh, that's it's Ambrosia, of course. The Argus won't drop a dungeon item.
Yep, that's what I was forgetting too.
So there's going to be one item on the left side swamp. Watch it be Ether.
Boy, wouldn't that just be too familiar?
Does Pikapals go back in to check? No, he does not. So we do not know what's on the left side swamp. Hopefully for our runners, it's nothing. Pikapal's doing the Bombos tablet check for 20 rupees. So, Pikapal still needs to find the fire rod, which is in Hookshot Cave. He still needs to do Aga 1. But both runners still need to find Ether, and we don't know where that. Oh, Pikapal's going to go to Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yep, gonna get our Tempered Sword.
Which, you know, now that he has the level 2 sword, wasn't dire straits for him. Now it's a nice little bonus.
So it looks like we will have both runners with Butter Sword here, because in order to get to the fire rod, the last sword is on the way to that, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah. Tempered Sword was in the Bonkable chest, and then Fire Rod was in the last chest in Hookshot Cave. Well, Silvers only puts him in the Pikapals in the lead if both runners get to Ganon at the same time. So it really depends on what the time difference is between the runners when they get into GT, get to AGA 2 and all that. But Silver's is definitely a nice bonus. It's going to help him clear Ganon real fast. While Pikapals is doing the Pyramid Fairy.
That's a nice check for this time because we know he's probably going to be going straight over to AGA from there, so it's a really good time to be routing that in right now.
Yeah, totally. He's just the boy continuing his way through Pod. Has the Butter Sword now, so he completed Hamelstar King, and now he's just clearing out a few checks he skipped, I suppose? I was busy looking at Argus when this happened.
I think he got the keys that he needed, so he went straight to boss, hoping to see if he found anything important along the way, which is routing I actually really like that I keep forgetting to apply in my own seeds. But when you only have one item left, well, I guess two in this case, to find, you have a low item count like that in this crystal dungeon, it makes a lot of sense to go that way first. Farming up some rupees here.
Pikapals is entering Aga's tower. So he's going to soon have his time submits. And yeah, that tempered sword is going to help him so much getting through this tower. He's just a boy finishing up with Pod, gets the mirror, heading into Eastern Palace now.
So expect from here we'll probably see He's Just a Boy go over to Swamp Palace next. That'll leave him with only Turtle Rock to clear.
But without Ether, that's the major bold barrier right now.
Yeah. Some of the places that we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen anything in the Mire Shed area.
Right, we haven't seen Mire Shed, we haven't seen Smith Chain. We haven't seen Graveyard Ledge.
Yep, Mirror being a more recent acquisition, so that opens up Cave 45 as well.
Right. I don't think we've seen the water. No, I think we saw the waterfall checks. I don't think we saw Zora. Did we? I could be wrong. I could have missed that.
I know Pikapals definitely had the money for Zora. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's all done then.
Yeah, we got the full water checks up there.
Oh, we also have the big chest of Tower of Hera.
Yep, that is true. He's Just a Boy did not end up going over there when he was on the mountain last time because he found that fire rod along with the Tempered Sword and Hookshot Cave. So.
Yes, and Tracker points out we still need Spike Cave as well.
Yep. There was that moment of hesitation by He's Just a Boy of like, do I check Spike Cave?
He's just the boy slashing his sword to the beat of the music.
Playing Pika Rhythm.
And down goes Aggo 1 for Pikapals. Oh, but interesting. Instead of going straight to the lumberjack ledge, he's gonna. Oh, nice. It looks like he's gonna route in the graveyard ledge and some of the graveyard checks he hasn't done yet while on his way to lumberjack. That's nice routing.
Yeah, that'll actually be very nice because we haven't seen King's Tomb either.
No, we did. He's just a boy. Did King's Tomb.
Did he? Okay, I remember seeing Bonk Rocks. I didn't think we had seen King's Tomb.
Yeah, King's Tomb was a Baltimore Fairy, if I recall.
Okay.
Oh, and I did remember correctly. Heck yeah.
You have a better memory than I do.
He's just a boy, clears out Eastern Palace, getting his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th crystal. About to find the major disappointments in Bacchus Wrestler's closet.
Yeah, there's nothing too exciting here. Even Sahasrahla himself didn't have much to give.
Nope. Yes, Ether is going to be go mode for both runners at this point. Except Pikapals doesn't know that yet. He hasn't been up Dark Death Mountain.
Right, so he's going to get his Fire Rod and check what the medallion on Turtle Rock is here. We might get a Spike Cave check from Pikapals along the way, which will kind of be that telling tale of whether, you know, if Ether Medallion is up there, then that's a really good fortune for him.
Right.
At this point, though, looks like heading back toward the Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, he must be doing Smith Chain, because I can't think...
Alright,
Wait,
I'm not sure if
what?
Pikapals had done Skull Woods yet.
No, I could have sworn he had been in Skull Woods before.
He's Just a Boy did double dip it, but I don't think Pikapals went here yet. Or maybe just didn't check the back here. Yeah, Pikapals may have just done the front couple, because you're right, I do remember him clearing the front of it now, but...
Yeah, remember they left at the same time taking different routes?
Yep. So he's Just a Boy is going to pick up his 6th crystal here, but unfortunately still be on the hunt for that Ether Medallion.
Right.
Whereas we'll soon see Pikapals go back up the mountain, get his Fire Rod, and we'll see if he comes straight back down to pick up his 5th and 6th crystal.
We're getting Meyershed check first.
Ooh. This could be really telling here. Okay,
Nope.
nothing yet.
Nothing in the shed.
And Ether for
It's-
this one as well.
Oh,
so
okay, so we know Meyer's not going to have anything worthwhile. Excellent. That takes that off the table.
that is a bit of a relief, unless... unless this check right here. Okay. Glad that wasn't either medallion.
Oh my goodness, right?
And we got a 150 person raid from Speed Gaming. Thank you and welcome everybody. For those of you just joining us, we have He's Just a Boy of Guardians of the Galaxy Brain facing off against Pikapals of Seal W. Both runners now effectively looking for Ether Medallion for their Go Mode item to get into Turtle Rock.
Pikapals also needs Fire Rod, but we know that's in Hookshot Cave and he hasn't been up the mountain yet, but should be doing that pretty soon.
Yep, and honestly, you know, I think what Pikapals is doing here is pretty smart. You're trying to put off the mountain checks till the very end, getting as much of the lower, how do I say, lower world checks, I guess, out of the way as he can. Still having crystal dungeons here that he can complete, it makes a ton of sense. When you're only hunting for 2 items at this point, you hope that you find them, and the last ones are on the mountain.
Right.
Now, if He's Just a Boy, where do you go after you finish Swamp Palace here?
Smith Chain.
Smith Chain? Okay. I can respect that for sure.
Because then after Smith Chain, you just have a single check in Spike Cave, a single check in Tower of Hera, which you could route together, and a single check on Left Side Swamp, assuming He's Just a Boy skips Left Side Swamp.
Right.
Oh, and of course, you know, He's Just a Boy also needs to do the Meyer checks, which Pikapals just did.
Yep, those ones would make sense as well. Fortunately, we know there's nothing there, and it's, even if he does go there, it's not a large time sink to do so.
Oh, our tracker pointing out that there's nothing but dungeon items on Left Side Swamp, so that's it. There's nothing in Swamp Palace.
That's got to be a bit of a relief at this point.
That is a major relief. He's Just a Boy taking on Argus. Pikapals making his way through Ice Palace. And down goes Argus. So that is crystal number 6 for He's Just a Boy. It's just down to Ether. Needs to find Ether to get into Turtle Rock.
Yep, so we now know for certain that Pedestal is also dead here, given that Ether Medallion is required for both our last pendant and our last crystal.
Right. Chat pointing out, I forgot about this, He's Just a Boy also hasn't touched Desert Palace yet.
Hasn't touched Desert Palace, also hasn't touched Tower of Hera, so if He's Just a Boy has a little bit more incentive to go back up the mountain. He did check the first 2 items, but didn't find an item yet, so he's got 2 checks there that he can still find.
Plus Spike
whereas
Cave.
Pikapals may push that off for a while still.
Yeah. Yes, Pikapals did check Agina. I want to say it was 10 arrows or a piece of heart.
Yeah, it was nothing super beneficial.
Here comes the K45 check. On He's Just a Boy's side.
Just a little bit of love. Like we had very different names for that there. In unison. See another bomb check here from He's Just a Boy. And I wonder if he's going to take that across the river route as well.
Well, he has the mirror.
Yep, he did AGA 1 before doing this check, so he can just transport right across here.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
Pikapals with a very clean cold stare fight. And gets his silvers. And crystal number 6.
5, I believe. We need Fire Rod for Skullwood still.
Oh, yeah, Fire Rod. I missed that.
But it's still, you know, a pretty tight race. If the Ether Medallion does end up being in Spike Cave or Tower of Hera, those are both things that Pikapals can check very easily when he's going to get his Fire Rod. So
Indeed.
Could close that gap pretty quickly here.
Alright, Pikapals heading up the mountain. He's gonna find the Fire Rod and Butter Sword inside Hookshot Cave. While He's Just a Boy is going to the Mire area. Most likely going to do Mire Shed, Checkerboard Cave, and then probably mirror into Desert Palace. Where he'll find the silvers, and not much else.
But that will close the gap for a little bit later on. Get into Ganon's Tower, at least.
Yes. Pikapal is about to get the Medallion of Disappointment here. He has 2 medallions, 67% chance of being able to go into Turtle Rock, and it's wrong.
A game worth playing, though. So we are going to see the silvers here for both runners. Both will have butter. Both will have red mail. Ganon is going to be a bit of a chump fight.
And there's the Fire Rod for Pikapals. So both runners are in the same position when it comes to items. They both need to find Ether. And that's it. Whoever finds Ether first has the advantage.
So I had to take a quick 1-minute AFK there. Did He's Just a Boy end up doing the Smith's Chain?
No, he went straight to Desert Palace and
Okay.
Mire Shed.
That's what I thought. It didn't seem like there had been enough time for all of that to happen that quickly, but
He's Just a Boy gets his silvers. Pikapal's giving us the Spike Cave check.
it's getting tense. He's just a boy, not wanting to leave anything behind at this point, so
Understandable.
definitely agreed. Not wanting to leave just one item checks that are isolated anymore.
Yeah, well, and with Desert Palace being the green pendant, technically it's 2.
Yes, yep, that as well. 300 rupees on
In the Spike Cave. And Pikapal's abandoning the big chest of Hera, which is an item that we don't know. So where does Pikapal's go now?
think
Okay,
we're probably going to see the Smith chain here.
Yeah.
Or, no, he does have Skull Woods to clear now that he picked up the
Oh,
Fire Rod.
I can keep track of this.
And the worst would be we're still missing what looks like a shovel here, so we could find that shovel that leads to an Ether Medallion. Very nice setup by He's Just a Boy for the one cycle landmouse fight.
Taking advantage of those silver arrows and just boom, boom, boom. He's Just a Boy. Looks like he's gonna check checkerboard cave.
Yep, and then I think he still has Agina's cave to check here as well. Then it'll really be up to Smith Chain or back up the mountain. I think at this point, with only Turtle Rock left for him, it makes the most sense to finish up the Smith Chain first.
Agreed.
And hope to find, and then I think he really only has the option of finding Ether Medallion up on the mountain. This is exactly what I was saying at the 20-minute mark of the seed. I never trust a seed that gives you everything right up front.
Yeah, no kidding. So Pikapals gets crystal number 6, and I am right about it this time. Wow.
Now we are exactly evenly matched.
Yeah, we are, aren't we? They have the exact same checks left, don't they? Well, once He's Just a Boy turns in the green pendant.
Yep.
And Pikapals gets the heart container. So they both have Smith Chain, they both have the Tower of Hera big chest.
He's Just a Boy also having Spike Cave. Pyramid Fairy did get checked by both runners, yep.
Yes. Alright, He's Just a Boy, where do you go now? Pikapals, where do you go now? It's gotta be Smith Chain for both of them, yes?
I would think so. Fluting to 3, that's what I'm expecting to see here. And they both did do the Magic Bat turn in pretty early on.
Yeah, they did.
So that might be part of the reason of putting that chain off for so long, but also still having crystal dungeons to clear. It makes sense to want to go through all of those first before you start going back to overworld checks you've left behind.
Yeah, He's Just a Boy. You need the frog, yes. Oh, we have sync on the runners now.
Yep, little high five here. This is nice. This is back to the beginning of the race, side by side.
Yep.
Now, I believe we will see a slight delay as Pikapals will have to go.
They're both doing hammer pegs first.
Pikapals will still have to do Cave 45 if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah, this is true. And nope, not hammer pegs. Alright. It's the blacksmith.
The coinsmith? Oh.
Nope. That's a heart container. Okay, that leaves purple chest and Tower of Hera.
Just the love smith today. Did He's Just a Boy not check powder earlier?
I know Pikapals did, but I guess He's Just a Boy did not? Oh, okay. He's Just a Boy did not do Magic Bat yet. Alright, purple chest, what do you got? The fire shield. Okay.
Wow. This is going to be probably a true last locate for both runners here.
Pikapals, I thought you checked back in this cave.
I guess not.
Oh wow, I guess not. Wait, he did the tablet check. He did the Desert Palace check. He did the Meyer Shed check. He's come to this area 4 times now. Okay.
And sometimes you get that aversion to a location and you just block it out of existence.
Whoops. Pikapals, where are you going now?
It's like he's just a boy. What does he have to go back for in the village here?
Digging game. I don't think he did digging game because he didn't have money the first time.
Right. Yep, that's right.
Oh, great. He's going to do 30 digs. Where is...
Another 300 rupees.
Right. Oh, and Pikapals is going to check K45.
Yeah. He went for the fast route down to the chest turn-in. And I apologize if I mispronounced this, but Ciareni, thank you for the raid of 7 people. Welcome to the race. We've got a very tense hunt here where both runners have only just a handful of checks left for Ether Medallion. I think you can count it on one hand.
Yeah, Pikapal's heading up to Tower of Hera.
So I think we're probably going to see just a little bit ahead on Pikapal's side.
Yes. Where is He's Just a Boy going? I don't think he'd done Catfish yet, huh?
Nope. Nope, that's right. Yeah, when this was going to be a 45-minute seed.
Alright, Pikapal's doing everyone's favorite tile room. I wouldn't necessarily say it's luck. I mean, he is last locationing the Ether at this point. It's more, Pikapals has had very good execution, just doing everything just a tad faster.
Yeah, a lot of things did play out in Pikapal's favor in terms of the items that he skipped early on didn't really hinder him that much. So, to a certain degree, I can see where luck definitely played a factor there. Because skipping the medallion, skipping the drawing a blank here, the Master Sword for so long would have locked him out of a lot of items, but finding things just exactly when he needed them to not have to go back to those spots.
True, true. I mean, granted, both players really lucked out with the bosses having a sword and bow upgrades that they were both missing at that time.
Agreed, yep. Yeah, so really luck has been favorable for both of them, but I think He's Just a Boy feeling the burn of this eternal hunt for the Ether Medallion a little bit longer.
Pikapals gets his Harapot glitch again, while He's Just a Boy is doing the tile room. And there's
there it
Ether.
Is.
Wow.
Go mode at 126 when I think it's been about a 40-minute hunt for Ether Medallion on He's Just a Boy's side.
And the only reason they didn't get that the first time they came up Tower of Hera, like at the 20-minute mark, is because they didn't have a fire source.
Yep.
As much as the seed gave them in the beginning, the fire source is what got them.
So at this point, Pikapals is going to be about a minute ahead. So it's really going to come down to execution on the Ganon's Tower climb here.
It's going to come down to a TR and GT execution.
Yep. So again,
so 1 hour 27:22 is Pikapals' entry time for TR. And I'm sorry, Ohado, I cut you off.
Oh, that's okay. I was just going to say the location of the big key in GT and their players' routing could also play a very huge role in this.
He's just the boy taking the long way up Tower of Hera, not using the Harapot clip.
But this has been a really exciting race, I gotta say.
Yes. But oof for both of these teams, both yesterday and today, last locationing the Go Mode item.
Yep, yesterday both teams had opposite rods that they were looking for Go Mode. This time they're both looking for the same item, but...
Just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. This has not been a friendly week.
And on Ambrosia, no less. So we're looking to be more like a minute and a half of a difference here.
Yeah, it's 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 51 seconds for He's Just a Boy. So exactly an minute and a half.
Whoops. Minute and a half. I think I put that evil in your head. And it is not crazy to see a quick time swap here, because I've seen people go into Ganon's Tower with a 6-minute difference, and the one who was 6 minutes behind still come out ahead.
Yeah, depending on the big key place of the GT, that could be the great equalizer. If you go left or right, it's a massive coin flip. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, Pikapals has a minute and a half lead. Ouch. Love those anti-fairies right there.
Oof. Getting really risky with those crystal rollers there. But I do believe He's Just a Boy has a fairy, but at this point, every little bit of time lost is going to hurt, so even taking that time for a fairy revival will be a little bit more he needs to gain back.
Nice butter sword spin on the pokey enemy.
Please be nice, Chain Chomps.
Uh-oh, this doesn't look... Oh, made it, okay.
Okay.
Pikapals...
Oh,
has 2 small keys, so he won't need to touch Laser Bridge.
There we go. Yeah, Chain Chomp's always dangerous. I remember my first time playing Mario 64. It took me forever to get that star behind the Chain Chomp.
Alright, Pikapals about to enter the Trinix battle. Oh, but he's just a boy. Didn't get the small key from the big chest. Did he
Nope.
skip that? Oh
sure did.
no! So he's gonna do laser bridge and have to make his way back up to get the big key. I mean, big chest.
So it's about that time. Pikapals finishing up Turtle Rock at 132. So it's time to start getting your guesses in for what item, chest location you think the big key is going to be. And here they are all flooding into chat right now. Do you have a spot that you typically like to guess here, Ricky?
7.
7?
Yeah, I'm going with 7.
That's a pretty good one. I'm usually a pretty big fan of 13. And he does get a key on Laser Bridge, so he doesn't have to go back. I thought that was the case, but
when did He's Just a Boy get a magic cape?
that's a great question, actually. Do they both have it? Is it in TR?
Oh, chat says he got the magic cape just now, so I guess it was on Laser Bridge.
Okay, that must be it.
Yeah, because Pikapals doesn't have it.
I was busy looking at all the numbers coming into chat here.
Yeah, same here. Then I looked at Laser Bridge and I saw He's Just a Boy is invisible. I'm like, wait, what? The lag shield is on the torch.
So looks like we're going to see not quite Dark Magician. Wait, do we get Big Key already? Is that right side and Hope Room?
Yeah, it was.
Wow,
It was
number 1.
Wow. So congratulations, Elazarg. You won the GT Big Key guessing game. Enjoy your points.
Yep, you guessed 3, so I guess nobody guessed 1 or 2, so you were the closest to
that.
Yeah,
you had the closest. Yeah, you had the closest number.
Man, with how many numbers I saw come in, I thought everyone would have been covered. Yep, that's exactly what happened to me, Durak Sharna.
Exactly.
Busy watching all of that, and so many things just went right by me.
We missed the cape to look at the chat numbers, and then missed the big key for figure out which cape was.
Yeah, so yeah, this is slowly starting to slip just a little bit further and further away for He's Just a Boy. Thankfully he's probably going to find that big key pretty quickly, but he's going to have some spectacular execution, and even more spectacular than Pikapals on the way up here. Both runners have put on a great show so far in terms of their capability, so I'm very confident they're both going to have a pretty easy climb here.
He's Just a Boy doing Dark Magician strats, doing the Stealthless room first, and then going over to Hope room. That's going to cost him more time.
He does have 4 small keys already.
And yep, there's the big key. Pikapals already at the end of his gauntlet, just has to take down Moldorm, and he's off to Aga 2.
Yep. As we mentioned, both runners being very clean on their execution. making very short work of the gauntlet on Pikapal's side.
And a
some green
bottle in
goo.
the last chest.
Just in case torch glitch is a problem.
Did Pikapals poke the wall in tune with the theme music?
I don't have the game volume turned on, so I'm not quite sure. Alright, Aga 2 is down.
And it's off to the Ganon fight. He's just a boy making quick work of Landmolas with the silvers yet again.
Yeah, very nicely done on those Landmos fights.
And here we go. Phase 1 complete of the Ganon's fight. On to Phase 2 already. Buttersword makes this a breeze. Well, just like Temper does.
Yep. Looks like we're on Phase 3 already now.
Yep. Yes, Ganon, your one true weakness. Should have hidden them better.
Tried. He put one of them in Pendant Desert Palace.
And the pig is down. Get your GGs in chat for Pikapals.
And GG's indeed, making really quick work of the Ganon fight there.
Bearing in mind, that was almost a 100% seed. So with an official SRO time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 54 seconds, Pikapals wins in first place.
With Team Seal W picking up 6 points for their second week of the league.
Yeah. Congratulations, Seal W, for getting both wins of the week.
Absolutely. Should be getting Pikapals in here in just a moment, but I think we'll probably be waiting until we finish up this Ganon fight.
Yeah.
And we never did see. I'm very curious what ends up being on pedestal here.
He's just a boy starting his Ganon fight. Also has the Butter Sword in silver, so this will also be very quick. Already on Phase 3.
Of course, Ganon not being terribly kind with the teleportation here.
Nope. Trying to delay the inevitable.
And finally, we're on Phase 4 here. Ooh,
Whoa,
near
careful.
fall there. Got me at the edge of my seat.
Well, he's on the edge of the ledge.
And
And
get
down
your
goes Cannon.
get your GGs in chat for He's Just a Boy. Guardians of the Galaxy Brain not able to pick up any points this week, but in both of their races having very, very close matches within just a couple of minutes of their opponents. So, all around, Seal W, Guardians of the Galaxy Brain, good games, very well fought. They've been definitely very exciting to watch. So we should be getting both racers here in for an interview in just a second.
Indeed. He's Just a Boy finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 36 seconds. And we are joined by both Pikapals and He's Just a Boy. GG's, both of you.
Hey, GG's.
Yeah, good game, guys. So, kind of what was going through your guys' mind for that go mode hunt for both of you?
I was trying to figure out which easy check I forgot, but that wasn't the top of Hera.
Yeah, at that point, we kind of knew that it was going to be probably last check for both of you.
Yeah, I felt like I rode at the seed like incredibly good up until the Ether Medallion, and then it was just a downhill spiral of I have so many checks all over the place. And,
Yeah.
Hera briefly went through my brain because I was like, I went there and I failed my Hera pot, and I was just like, whatever. But then I was like, ooh, there's a good chance he might have done that, and there is an item in that big chest. And that's why when I did go to Hera, I just went straight to that chest.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, I mean, neither of you had a fire source when you first went to Hera, so Pikapals ended up doing Moldorm by leaving that chest, while you didn't do either. So you were both kind of in the same position because of the fire law.
Yeah. There's no way you lose the 1 in 3 that there's an item in the big chest, right?
Right.
And of course, Turtle Rock being super cruel with the one medallion that you didn't find early in the seed being required.
Well,
Yeah.
because of course it was. I mean, at least Meyer was nice enough to be the exact same medallion. But
Yes.
Yeah, so
it took Ped off my mind because Ped was definitely looming there from about like half an hour into the seed.
oh yeah, and we Pikapals, actually, you cleared both of the Light World pendant dungeons very early on, so you were well lined up to go do that pedestal check if it did come into play. But once we found that out, we rolled it out pretty quickly.
Oh, so I imagine Pikapals got the bow fairly early then too.
yeah,
Yes.
it was,
Yes.
it was pretty quick.
Yeah, actually, it was funny because He's Just a Boy did Mini Moldorm Cave pretty early, while Pikapals did Desert Palace pretty early. So for a good 20 minutes, we were waiting for one of you to find the bow and the other to find a level 2 sword, because Ago 1 was required, and then you both, within minutes of each other, found them on Argus and Helmstar King.
Yep.
Yeah,
So that was where we really...
was.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, that's where we really saw the first divergence. You guys were neck and neck for about 20-ish minutes, and then it was right around that South Shore checks where you both kind of took a different path, and then started clearing exactly the opposite dungeons, getting the opposite items. So it was really watching you guys kind of weave back into each other's footsteps. So it's really interesting.
What was I gonna say? That there's a couple things that were definitely annoying for me in this seed. The digging game.
Oh, yeah.
I was not very impressed with the digging game
Yeah.
at all.
It was 10 rupees per dig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, the first time I went there, I didn't have enough money, and then I screwed up the archery game twice, and then yeah, I was like, well, this is going to be one of my last location things.
Yep. And then
See,
immediately
I,
found 300 rupees, right?
Yeah. Yes.
See, I did the digging game. Was like, before getting the item, was like, I'm down to like $20. Maybe I'll go do the archery game for some money. Got $300 off digging game. Was like, I'll just do archery game a couple times to get Zora money, and then got $300 more off of Stumpy afterwards.
Right.
And yeah, I'm really glad I didn't have to do Dark Aga, because I was totally preparing myself to do it, and then found that lamp, and I was like, okay, I just need a cape or a sword now.
See, I had the opposite reaction where I was all ready to go do Dark Aga, and then I didn't find a sword until long after finding my lamp.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I just had a really dumb route for the seed that I felt like taking, and sometimes you put off mini Warlorn Cave for like a good hour.
And it was funny to watch, but it actually played out really well for you because you found everything you needed from that point on at just the right time, where it could have been like, I wonder how long that's going to linger down there, and then you find the sword right off of Helmasaur, so it didn't really hurt you that badly.
Yeah, I was going to end up heading there next check anyway, but then I got the mirror out of pod anyway, so I got to do my Dam and Swamp Palace combined like I wanted.
Yep.
And Great Swamp Palace, right?
Yeah.
Left side doesn't exist.
As I was going through it, I was having flashbacks of yours and Nabs' race where Fire Rod was left side.
Yeah.
And then it was just, there's nothing on left side. You can ignore it.
Yep. Too soon, right? Too soon.
Well, I mean, this is the second seed our teams have had, both teams here, that had a last location go mode. It's like, ouch.
Yeah.
This week has been rough.
Yep, and both games, teams finishing pretty close to each other. So, it's been a pleasure to watch these races between Guardians of the Galaxy brand and CLW. Unfortunately, we didn't get any points, but maybe next time.
I don't think there's any reason for us to hang our heads. We've had 4 races now, and I think we've lost by a total of 15 minutes.
Yeah,
So,
I know. I know. Our times have been really good, so that's.
yeah, we've been in every race, so we just we've got to close one out.
Yeah, but GG to both of you runners. Any closing thoughts before we get wrapping up here?
Guardians of the Galaxy brain is the best. Thank you guys for the restream. Obviously, both my partners are in here, so thank you guys.
Yep, gotta support.
This Ether Medallion brought to you by CLW.
Right. All right. So thank you for the races. For anyone watching, we have a few races going on, I believe right now, unless they're just finishing up. But then afterwards, at 10:40 p.m., we have Voranth 2020 versus Fantalis on Speed Gaming 2. And 30 minutes after that is Moogle Charm versus P-Train on the main Speed Gaming channel. I'm Ricky of Kokiri, joined by Ohado in the commentary booth. Thank you, Mind of Me, for tracking for us. Any last words, Ohado, before we close this out?
I don't believe so. Yeah, thank you both runners. If you haven't already, give both of them a follow. They put on a fantastic show for us this evening.
All right, then. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Have a great night. Bye.
Good night.